It is Cambodian New Year. I think you're supposed to do Sopste Namsme, Namsne, Sopste Namsne. I cannot pronounce it properly. But my partner, my husband, I call him my husband, is Khmer, Cambodian. So we're doing the we're doing like a, I don't know if you can see it, but we have a setup there. So we're doing the whole, hold on a second, let me just turn the TV off. We're doing the whole prepping and celebration. So you can see that this is like part of what we do. And yeah, so that's basically it. I'm going to sit down and we're going to do catalogs today. Hajimemashite. Watashi no namae wa Shinta desu. And yeah, I just thought this is like a good time for me to wear my partial kimono, the one that I made. It's not perfect, but I think it kind of works for not wearing, it's like a jacket more than an actual kimono. So I can wear it out without like tripping on it, which is part of the process, right? So yeah. Okay. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to sit here. Oops. It's not going to be a crazy thing. I know most people are outside doing stuff, socializing, getting things together during the spring, sorry. But I wanted to show you my older catalog layout. I think I might have brought it up the last time. So this is one of the catalog layouts that I had done on iMovie. No, not iMovie. iPhoto. I think that this is my layout that I've kind of used. And this you can use for, these are some of the projects I've done in the past. These are like my mock-ups. It's always nice to have this one. Photographs. Okay, so these are just images. This is just a general, this is a very old catalog. If I were to do it over again, I would do it differently. This is just one of my little mock-ups for a presentation in a portfolio format, right? So that's what this is in projects that I'd done prior to situations. Recording evidence. Hi, welcome in. I was going to talk about catalogs, and this is one of the catalogs that I'd done for myself for my own business. This was before I left South Africa, so I put these together before I moved back to the United States. But it's a good kind of situation where you could use these layouts for a website. And I think I had used 1 or 2 pages. And even if you need to write proposals, it's just a good kind of format, right? So these are all the old things. I'm not going to do music today. I think it's Cambodian Khmer New Year. So my partner is Khmer, and he just did the whole thing on the celebrations. But you can technically, with these layouts you have on here, you can technically use these for your websites because you can download them as PDFs from the iPhotos. And I'm going to just do some examples of the things that you could do with. This is just the printed. You don't even need to have it printed on here. You can literally just send it straight over to your computer. And those can be transferred into like a website format, right? So I'm just showing you 2 ways to go about doing this. But I think it works really well. I don't know if you guys can hear me. So some of the things that you see on my website, I've actually repurposed from this kind of catalog format and placed it on my website. Because you can drag and paste, right? That's like the other part about websites, or if you're doing a Wix one, because it's not yeah, you don't have to technically, whatchamacallit, you're not writing code for Wix. WordPress, you write, there's code in the back, so you can see like the 01000 behind WordPress, which is what I started using before Wix. But Wix is so easy to use. I don't know if anybody's tried to build their own sites. But Wix is a good example, and apparently it links very well with with YouTube. And then through those little catalogs, you can have different size catalogs, right? And you can do like experimental books. This was my little experimental book before I printed it or had it produced on KDP. So this is just a general, I do like the quality of the paper that comes out with it, though. It's much better. This is a good quality paper, right? Okay. So yes, I have technically worked with formats because, you know, as somebody who studied the arts and graphic design and all those things, you need to understand. You know, we didn't do website design in university, but I learned how to do that myself. So that wasn't like technically an issue, right? So I'm going to just open this up here, and we're going to do an example from here. Hold on, and I might use some of my still AI images. Still AI image. Let me just get into my AI section over here. I need to go to my drive because I think I transferred it onto the drive. Google Drive. Okay, so that's basically what I'm doing today. Is I'm just going to do a basic format, a layout, just to show. You know, I think a lot of people are curious to know how to do a website, but I think at this stage most people know how to do their own sites, right? It's not like a missing link anymore. It's now just part of the process. Why can't I preview this? I would like to preview it. There was a problem. Could not preview. Okay. Let me just do recent. 2 seconds. So while you're looking recent, just want to make sure I have all the right sections over here. Okay, I'll just download these stupid things. And I could technically, you know, I could go into my Facebook and drag and paste some of those images onto this as well. I'm not going to technically put music on today because I don't think it's a music day. I think it's going to be distracting for me at the moment, right? That's not like, okay. So I might just do like one page, but there's like a layout format. If anybody's here, I don't know anybody's here. Hi, welcome in. So I'm doing, I think I said it on my last short, but I'm going to talk about layouts because these you can actually use for building your own websites. Very, very easy formats. If you design your own catalog layout, those can be transferred into a PDF and then transferred onto your YouTube channel. Not YouTube. Well, you could use it on YouTube, or you can use it for, actually any platform would be useful. But this was before social media became like a thing, right? I was using these kind of formats for myself for like a portfolio and then putting them into a website because I was using website designs before social media was even around, right? This is like new for me, all of this. I hope you're doing well. Just checking out names. I'm a little nervous about calling out names because I don't know if people, first of all, it's a safety issue, so I don't want to put anybody into jeopardy. And second of all, I never always get the names right, so I get a little like anxious here. But welcome in. I'm wearing one of the pieces that I made. It's like a kimono jacket more than anything else. So you're seeing me wear this, and it's the first day of Cambodian New Year, and my partner is Cambodian, so I'm kind of like celebrating in a different way, right? I'm just going live though. Okay. We have our little temple-like situation with the fruits and stuff out, so I'm looking at it right now. Okay, let me just go into this. So I'm going to open up my iPhotos. This is on my phone. I'm going to show you now. I just want to get it. I don't have anything on this one. I used another another, just set up a format. Can I do this? Library, my projects, create a project, yes. Book. Now, why do I need to go to the App Store? Tell me I'm not going to have to download anything new here. Oh yeah, it gives me a different, that's right, it gives me different layouts. So this is just like a, okay, I got this, yeah, okay. Oh yeah, it's because I haven't, what is this? No, why are we doing this here? Are they creating printer? I don't need those, okay. Now that is interesting. Create a camera. Connect camera now. Choose import file. Album. Oh yeah, we have to start with an album. Okay, let's just say sample. Okay. So, do I want to go to library? Oh, do I have to open up my old computer? My album, import, people, memory, libraries. It should be at my project now. I don't know why it's not opening. I could do slideshow, print, wall decor. Book. Why is the book on the App Store? What the heck? Okay, hold on. Give me a moment. Oh, here. No, we don't want this. I don't want to get any of these things. We want print memories. Milk book. So that's interesting. This is new. When I was using printed memories, premium photo album, yeah, let's do this. I don't know what this is going to do, but let's give it a try. In the meantime, I'm going to pull out my other, I think I'm going to pull out my other computer because I think that's already preset. Give me 2 seconds to pull it out. Now I need to figure out where I put it. Oh boy. Here we go. So there's always an upgrade with these things. You always, and I use an Apple. So I'm going to pull out the old one, and we are going to, I guess, give this a try with the old one because I think now I need to upgrade all these other things that I didn't think about doing at the time. Let's do this for now. I'll have it update in the meantime, and then we're going to go. Oh, I need to slightly disorganized today. I thought I was a little bit more organized, but clearly not as much as I thought. Okay, now I have to go onto the old computer, and we are going to now, while I'm waiting for this one, let's open this in the meantime and see what this is about. Okay, so photo Mac for Macs. This is a new layout. Okay, but you can download these as PDFs. Where is this? Now, why is it freezing now on me? Frozen. Okay. Okay. So you have to upgrade it. There's like an upgrade. This is new. I haven't used it in a while. Hardcover photo, lay flat. Let's use hardcover for now because, okay, that's interesting. So this is like, allow, yeah, that's fine. Let's see what we got here. Okay, good to know. So the new version, what the heck? No, I don't need to do any of these right now. So you don't need to, okay, so it gives you a whole bunch of layouts on here, right? Actually, I don't need this then. We're gonna just use this. I realized that you have to just upgrade the version. I'm gonna pull this over here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but here you go. If you can see that, that's great. And I think what you can do is you can probably, if you can see this, you can zoom in and out. Well, I can zoom in. I don't know if you can. But you can zoom in and out on the screen, right? Yeah, it's probably better like this. So you have different layouts. Okay. Let's just choose, this is a nice layout. Let's just choose this layout. But you can always adjust and alter the pages. We're just going to do, would you like to, no tips. I'm good, maybe later. Okay. So, okay, yeah, this is like a newer version of the format. I just need to see. You should be able to change the colors of the pages as well. Let me just front. Okay, so I can, okay, so it's generally the same thing as the old version, but you can change the layouts, and I think you can change the colors. Let me just figure out where the colors are. Options. No. I don't want to autofill. But I should be able to change the colors, which is options. Just see what the options are. No. That's if you want to buy it. So you don't really have to. I mean, it's a whole new format. Okay, that's fine. Let's just drag. Let's just drag an image in here. Let me just go to, let's use this one for instance. Oh, I have to send it over to the library first. Okay, so once that's sent over to the library, then you can send this over to your sample. Okay, say for instance, okay, come on. And this can be dragged in there, or I could technically drag it in here. Can I drag it in there? No, I don't want to do that. Why is this giving me complications? So this is a whole new format. I'm not going to talk about Wix at the moment because I don't think why. Okay, hold on. Let's do the title first. Sample mag. Okay. Interesting. I'm having some slight issues here. What's in the library? Okay, so that should be, oh, that should be, no, that should be, that should go in there. Come on now. Why are we having issues? Okay. Okay, got it. Oh. So this size, it gives you an explanation of what the problem is. It's going to be too large. So, okay, interesting. So it gives you, this is a little bit different. But it's almost like an editing suite that you find on social media, right? It's just, this can be readjusted. You have to get the right size accordingly, though. So you might have to crop. Let's go to the crop. Okay, so the normal things that you generally find to edit, I don't know if anybody's done Photoshop. I can show Photoshop as well. I think I have it on here. I'll have to double check. I think it's on the other one now. Is it on here? I don't think it's on this one. Okay, so we have to modify. Photo resolution too low. Okay, that's fine. We're just doing an example. So you need to find, it gives you explanations, okay? So what you would have to do now, let's go into the other ones that I downloaded. Where did I download them? Let's use this. Let's use these. Wait, where's this? What the? Okay, we don't need this right now. It's probably going to tell me the same thing, photo resolution too low. Okay, so I need to bring this over to the library first, and then this over to there. Okay, yeah, so the resolution is too low, which means you have to technically go straight into Photoshop. Oh goodness, let's get Photoshop out. Photoshop to do these. I used Photoshop back in the day. I don't think it's on this one. I think it's on this one actually. No, we do not want this. Okay. So you have to be patient with this kind of stuff. You need time. If you don't have patience or time for this kind of thing, then building a website is probably not the right solution for you, okay? Then you would have to pay somebody, like good money to do it for you. That's just my personal opinion. Unless you have the time and the patience and the effort to really build these things up by yourself. Yeah. So as you can see, I have a few samples here, but the resolution is too low. So what I would then need to do is go into, I don't think I have Photoshop on here, is I would have to then go into Photoshop and then transfer that into, I have Photoshop on this one, so I'm going to put it on Photoshop here, and then transfer that into Photoshop to make sure that we get the resolution right. Usually when the resolution is too low is that the image is either too small, which makes it if you enlarge it, it pixelates it, which causes a problem, which is why it says resolution is low. So you need to understand graphic design, right, for this kind of thing. But the better quality you can get for a catalog, then these can be transferred. Let me just see if we can PDF. Instead of, so it says, okay, so we'll take that as an example, okay? So, but then when it says print, what you want to do is export. So let's just say it's ready, okay? So you have different variations. Let's just see, okay? And the pixelation is not good. So this is nothing I would technically print out. This would be more as an experiment, right? It's just called compositional layout, right? And then you can send this over as a PDF, export, share as, let's just see. Where would I, hold on. Black and white. So I don't want to print unless they've like changed the whole, oh goodness. Oh, really? Oh, so I guess it has changed. So before you were able to, let's just close this. You were able to technically, okay, this is, yeah, we don't want that. So we want it, let's do save. Does it give you save option? Export PDF, oh, it gives you the save option. Okay, so you can export as PDF. Let's just say sample. Okay. Invalid export as PDF. Oh. Project will upload PDF. Link will be emailed to you. It should be. Let's see. Okay, so I just want to see. Okay, so there's a different format. It's like you have to kind of figure out how the new versions are, because they're all different now, apparently. Like everything is always updating, right? So I guess that's the whole thing. And let's see the PDF. I just want to see quickly. So the PDF is ready. Custom PDF. Let's see. Oh, that's so interesting. So they send you the PDF, which is, wait, why do they send the PDF? Windows. Okay, so this is the blank. Oh, okay. So what they're doing is, and then technically, before you were able to like drag and paste, but I think they probably caught on to that. Okay, so that's just the PDF of the, oh, they send the entire PDF. That's good to know. Okay, so I just did 2 basic pages just as a sample. And it didn't really give you anything. Where's the other image? The other image is missing. Okay. So there are a lot of things. So let's go onto my website, for instance. Okay, let's go on to, I don't think I, let's go onto my website. Let's go onto my website on here. Just to make things less complicated, because it gets complicated. Let me just see the PDF version that they sent me here. Tech savvy is the know-how these days. You need to have not just, oh, let's go scan and look through stuff, but I just want to see what the PDF looks like. Visit the blog, submit, subscribe. No. What the heck? This is bizarre. Oh, it's not exactly the way I remember it, but okay. They've clearly updated their formats. Okay, so we're not gonna, here's my websites, but I went off of, when I do my website, I go off of designs. Okay, this is an old site, but I've taken my own photographs. I do my own portraits. This is way before AI. I use Photoshop, and then I take a photograph of myself, and then I lay down the background, right? This is how these are done from back in the day, okay? That's how that's done. I had to do each page accordingly. Everything you see here I had to write down. So this takes time. I had the time to do it. So this is, and it's not even like a completed anything. But some of these, you can see these little images over here. That image, I actually did use the catalog for these images, and I drag and pasted and sent over, right? So that's how I did these. These are actually catalog images that I sent over to my page, which is how I made this look a certain way, okay? So if you understand how to use catalog layouts, it will make it easier to kind of create a format for, like, this is how I would do it before even starting, oh goodness, before even starting a, wait, why is this all crazy now? What's going on? Music section. Wait. Okay, so before even starting, like, thinking about doing a website, I would recommend first trying out a catalog format and testing it out on a catalog layouts, and then seeing, oh, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is how I want it to look. Because all it is me transferring those images from the catalog. Okay. Okay, and I did photos for models and stuff. I mean, I had students who were doing modeling as well. So some of these images I had actually taken for students. So I do photography as well. So I understand camera layout, format, graphic design. And this is not even a completed anything, but you can see if you go into my website how it's all done. Okay. And it takes time. This is not an instant thing. But I did indeed use, before I did anything, I did create a catalog. I did create a catalog before I actually placed it onto the Wix. So yeah, that's basically, I don't think I used the catalog for these ones. These were just photographs that I sent over. Okay. The old website that I have, I don't know if anybody's linked onto my old website, which is the WordPress. Okay. The WordPress I feel like is more like a blog, right? I finally added those in, but I saw this more like a blog. They've stepped it up a little bit. I think back in the day when it first came out, it was a little bit hard to kind of figure out. But I think now, graphic design in the arts, yeah, this is old. So this is my old website. I had an old website before. Yeah. But I also experimented with catalog layouts too, right? These are my old little graphic design images, right? Me playing around back in the day. So I had some fun with photographs because I did study graphic design, and before AI came out, these are the kind of things I was playing around with. So I tested boundaries, right, in different ways. Those are my pricings for the art. Music, photographs I had taken, right? One of these ended up in, I think this one ended up in, what was it? People magazine. She's like a musician from South Africa, but she sings and stuff. So that ended up in People magazine. And yeah, some of these other things. Guitar Center, when I was working there. This is my old site. So this is all my old stuff. So if anybody's gone into my other sites, they've managed to see, you can link it into my other sites, and this is like what we have here, right? So WordPress, and then I do like Poshmark. So I was taking images. These are not the best, but this is like holding on to the old things. I don't like to kind of lose anything. I think I made these pieces, and these pieces I photographed in New York. So these are images that I took. And then also this piece, almost like an isamiyake. I like to make clothing. I haven't done it recently. I think I just haven't had the time. But that's what we're dealing with. I think she also lives in New York. Okay, so this is the jacket that I made. So this thing that she's wearing is a jacket that I made. Okay. And then, yeah. So that's basically what we have here. Yeah, thank goodness I saved these pieces. And then photographs that I took during my university years in DC. So I did photography. This was in 2000 and I think 2001. Black and white images. We used it was a manual camera, so we had to develop our film. Can you believe it? We had to this whole iPhone thing never existed. These are the photographs I took. So the garments you see are the ones that they're wearing are the ones that I made. Okay, these ones I made. And then the photographs I took, okay? And that was for my bachelor's degree. The master's was something different. So fashion has been part of, yeah, this is the one that I'm wearing right now. This piece. The one that I'm wearing right now is this piece, yeah. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with here. It's a bit of a quiet day. I didn't want music to distract the actual images. Okay. So I have a whole bunch of things. I just haven't taken photographs of people wearing my garments lately, but we have things like AI now where AI can actually play a bit of a role in how to make that a possibility. But I have linked, this didn't take me overnight. This took me about over 10 years to put together. This is no easy walk in the park. I didn't have anybody helping me. I had to kind of put everything together and build up my portfolio. So everything you see here, I've had to build my portfolio up myself. Oops. A little zoomed. Okay, yeah. So I've had to put my portfolio together myself. And for the portfolio, I needed projects. So I needed to put projects together first, right? And the projects came before putting together the websites. Okay, so you have to have projects to put together to put on a website to have. So I use it as a portfolio because a website should be a portfolio for people. If you're an artist, you must always have a portfolio. That's like a biggest part of the process, right? And as I said, the catalog had played a role in my Wix websites, because the layouts, I had transferred the layouts from, that's me back in the day when I did modeling, and then fashion shows and projects that I put together, paintings, projects, and exhibitions in South Africa. This was in South Africa. These were all in South Africa. Okay. Back in the day, I am old now, so I do not have to, and I have a broken leg, so I have, unfortunately, due to the injury, it has caused me not to do like lots of training. I used to be very, very fit, very exercised, but because of my leg, I haven't been able to exercise the way I used to. I have to do things at a minimal level so I don't break it again. That's like the other problem, right? I don't want to be back in hospital. That's all I know is that was a horrible experience. I do not wish anybody to break a leg. I did. And all I can say is it's not fun. Not fun. Okay. So I've just given the general layout. So that's how I did the catalog design for my Wix, is I actually did use a catalog to create my starting points, my image design setup and ideas. So before I started this, I was running around testing out things on this. Okay, so create a catalog first. If you haven't, like, the designs come to you as you go along. It's basically practice makes perfect. Have photographs, have projects, develop things, create stuff, put music together. You know, I've done so much stuff. I'm 46 years old, and I have been working since I was 17. So I have many, 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 many years of both working in the business world, in embassies, and also the arts. So I bring the two together because I understand both sides. And that is where this comes from. So these things don't just come overnight, right? I have to formulate my vision. I have to identify how I'm going to create this and what do I want people to see. But first, have the projects together. Don't think that a website is cool. You must have something. You must have substance. You must have a vision. You must know where you're going, what your intentions are in your goals. Are you a designer? Are you a model? Are you a cook? Are you a photographer? Are you a painter? Are you a musician? So you have to select. I didn't select any of them per se because I do all of them since I have all these years of life in front of me. So I do everything and I bring all the things together. So the music you hear on my site, on my YouTube channel, everything I've produced. So you actually have proof that I have music production skills as well. But you have to have something. Like, don't just do a website and just say, oh, we're going to just leave it up to the universe to decide. No, you have to make the effort. To make a website, you have to make the effort to make it happen. Because it doesn't just happen like, oh, one day we're going to be like a musician and we're going to miraculously come up with a musician page. No, you have to think through it. Even starting a YouTube channel is a good start. Start on a YouTube channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, build that up into a vision and then take out the things that you want and then use those as your projects that you can then put on your website. And these days, everybody says the YouTube is like the new website, right? So yeah, I mean, and you have TikTok and Facebook, but to be honest, on a professional level, I think if you go into my YouTube channel, if you go onto my channel and my front page, I figured out how to put it together to make it look like a professional, like a portfolio, like just the front page. Not everybody does that. So by understanding the behind the scene technical format of what YouTube does, you can actually create a catalog like format. It's like a new technology catalog format on your own channel. So yeah, the catalog is where I started before I even started my websites. This is what I had available. This is where I started. This is what I did. I was testing out what I could do with these little experimental projects, right? These were all experiments, but it turned into my portfolio, right? So that is look, music before. I even did CDs. Did you see this? My gosh, we had CDs. Goodness. CDs. Who has CDs? I don't know if any of you guys are like younger than me or older than me, but back in the day, the CDs were like we need to make a bunch of CDs to hand out to people, because that's what we did. We would hand out CDs to potential clients and people because that's what we used to do. It's like, oh, can you please listen to my track? Here's a CD. Can you put it in your car and play it? You can't do that now because the cars don't have CD players. We actually don't. We have USB, Bluetooth, and whatever else. But the CD is like long gone, like back in the day, back in the day mode. Like, I don't know who uses a CD now. I had to transfer my CD idea onto waves, like MP3 formats, right, for the music. So I could talk about lots of different areas, but before anything, do the catalog. The catalog will guide you through what you'd want a website to look at, or what you want your website to look like, right? As I was showing, you can actually transfer. It was easier back then because it wasn't updated, but before, I don't know what Apple did. It made it a little bit harder to send and then drag and send with the new formats. If you have I think if you have an older version of the Apple laptop, it might be easier because you can literally drag and send those images. Drag and send those images onto your computer, and then you have it as a PDF format, right? So that's how all these come about. Is you just have to be kind of like, what do you want to do, right? These are all this is the PDF format of this catalog, and this catalog was developed from the iMovie, right? So that's what we have here. Yeah. So you're seeing the PDF versions, which is the paper format of those, right? And projects. And this was before I started kind of like, where am I going to go with my website? All these images you see on my site are all the projects I've done already, like long time ago. These are old projects. These are things that I'd done many, many, many years ago. And then I moved back to the States and I haven't done as many projects, but I feel as if my project is on social media now, on, like, for instance, YouTube. I take YouTube much more seriously than I do on Facebook and TikTok. It's just on a professional standard. I think YouTube has beat all the other platforms because it understands what meticulous behind the scene kind of layouts you need to make it like professional. You can't do that kind of stuff. It's like the YouTube is like, if you go to the back end, you begin to realize it's built like a website. Like YouTube is built like a website for individuals trying to build their site, trying to build their YouTubes up, which is, I think, very interesting. I find that it's important to, I think TikTok and Facebook are more social places, and I really do think that YouTube is much more website orientated, right? Paintings that I did in the past, I still have this one. I think my family member has this. This is a painting. These are all paintings I've done in the past. So you're getting a chance to see my portfolio. This is old stuff, old stuff. An oil painting I did a while ago. I don't know. I think I sent it over to this guy. Apparently was I don't know for sure, but he said he was like working with Lloydton Guest, who's in London, and he has a couple of very interesting connections into the music world. Okay, so I haven't spoken to him in a while, but that was part of it, and some photographs I'd taken, right? Portraits, garments that I was experimenting with, food, me back in the day before I broke my leg, projects that I've put together, events, right? So what you're seeing here are the starting points of what I kind of created the website for, or set it up for, right? And that's how I came up. But I didn't have any help. Like, this is everything. I didn't have somebody say, oh, can you take a look at this? Can I analyze? No, I had to use my own 2 cents to figure out what was going to work for the website. So yeah, I mean, I know websites are important, but before the website happens, you need to have a goal, a direction, a guide, a project, couple of projects, a vision. This is my logo. That's my little logo. And on the right is in Japanese, nomadics in Romaji. No, in katakana. Sorry, in katakana. And no, not katakana. In, yeah, Romaji. No. Hiragana, katakana. It's katakana. Katakana. That's like the English, the Japanese English, I guess, right? Yeah. Okay. So build your own ideas. Like, develop a goal. What do you want to do? Okay, and I've set all this up where it's all connected. I connect all my pages together. But as I said, before I did any of this, I was literally... And then this is the WordPress. So you can go into the WordPress and everything's connected, right? What page is this? Oh my goodness. Oh, that's page 5. And if you like the things that, you can go onto my other lives. I have a section for music production. So if you want to see the music production of what I've done and the music that I've kind of worked with, you can definitely see the stuff that I've produced. And I find that YouTube is great to produce on, because then it shows you have proof that it's your own music and you're not like taking it from somebody, because the copyright issues on here are quite serious, and they will take down like your channel if you're not careful. So my opinion is, everything you do, you should definitely have rights to. Like, you've created your own ideas, your concepts, taken your own photographs, the AI images. If you're going to do AI images, make sure that you own the rights. You know, all this stuff. This all matters. And this is not AI. All this stuff back here, we didn't have AI a few years. This is over 10 years of work. This is not like I didn't get any help. This is me doing it all by myself, right? So that's the whole point. And then you can read up on me. I have a bio, a little bit longer bio on the other sites, right? And then images, right? And also catalog kind of format, right? I was very into me on the piano. This was in South Africa. I was dressing up in like anime because I was like, oh yeah, this is like how it goes back then. So that's basically it. So then my sister's a musician in South Africa. Some of these are connected, like certain pages, like, you know, I was saying about, I don't know if people use CDs, but I was producing music when CDs were out. I was getting a bunch of CDs and I was downloading the MP3s onto a CD and making CD covers. That's like, this is what I was doing back then, before Spotify. They had SoundCloud, so I was using SoundCloud when the CDs were out, and that was like a great space to kind of download your tracks. So if you are a musician, and we don't need to use CDs anymore, but here I am making CDs and CD covers. I did my own graphic design, right? So this is what all this is. So it's just it's a show and tell, but also just to tell people, you know, if you guys are thinking about doing a website, make sure you have a project together first. Make sure you have a few things on the roll or on the go, because without a project or a vision, you really just don't have, you can't really start anywhere. You have to have something, whether it's a drawing of a guitar or a book that you're publishing. Have something that you're doing. Have something that you're kind of creating before this happens. Once you have enough stuff to accumulate to then create something like a catalog, right? And that's the most important thing. I think she works for Disney now. She's in South Africa. She works as director in Disney, I think. So she did modeling with me, and we studied together at Wits, right? So that's very interesting. Going back into the past, all these people who are now successfully doing all sorts of things is very interesting. It's like, oh, I took photographs of you back in the day. And this guy is a very famous fashion designer in South Africa. Okay, so I think he's done shows in New York. He actually came to DC. I watched one of his fashion shows here. And we had our clothing in the store together. So this picture you see here, my clothing was in the same store as his, which was really cool. I was like, oh, this is awesome. How exciting. And around the corner from my parents' house, actually. Yeah. But it's all about the layout. So if you play around with cataloging ideas and coming up with a vision first before kind of jumping into a larger kind of concept, that's where you want to be. You want to have something to go from, to go with, to go by. And not everything costs money. I mean, not at the beginning. You have to eventually pay for it. Oh, look, CDs. Here you go. Here was my audiobook CD. Can you believe it's CDs? Can you believe it? So I made CD covers too. Does anybody remember CDs? I was doing CDs. A CD. There you go. There's an example of a CD. So this shows you how long it's been. I don't know when was the last time anybody listened to an actual CD? I don't remember. I think once the cars started changing into Bluetooths, everything changed, right? So yeah. Once again, catalogs. Catalogs you can do on here. But I would recommend. Oh goodness. I would recommend. Where is this thing now? Okay, so we were just experimenting. They have an update on here. I haven't used this one. I think I was using where's the other laptop? Somewhere. Here. It's on this one, but I'm not going to pull it out. It's just complicated. So the older versions of your laptop may not necessarily have this new updates. I just saw this now, where they're having you update to get a unlimited project hardcover book. This was not like this before. This is definitely a new format. So you just need to keep an eye on the things that are being upgraded and moved around, right? So that's like the whole. Where's the first? Oh, okay, let's do. Oh, that's the back cover. That's interesting. Okay. I mean, it looks the same, but I can see that they've definitely upgraded or updated something. Let me go to, what's the second page? Okay. Let's see. Photo library. What's in the photo library? Oh, I technically don't have anything in there. Okay. So let's just. These are just quick photos. These are just examples, right? These are things that I'd already. Oh, gosh. All photos, thank you. Send that over to this thingy over here. Should be in there, right? So yeah, you kind of have to play around with, oh, here are colors. Okay, so it shows you different colors. Let me just zoom this in. Okay, so it shows you different colors, layouts, formats. Let's take this for example. And then you can choose the gradient that you want of. Okay, so for a background, so for instance, I was also playing around with these. So when I did these, when I did this, well, we'll do that now. Okay, so the different gradients. Oh, they're different colors. Okay, so this is where it all comes in, is where your color theory kind of becomes an important factor. Is like, how do you want it to look? But this is all after, folks, make no mistake, this is all after you have a project. If you have a project, then you can actually create like these kind of things and create the layout for your websites. That's how I did it, okay? And I studied graphic design and all these things. This is not a coinky-dink. This is actually, I studied this stuff. So like this is what I studied, how to do layouts, but I didn't study how to build a website. That's something I had to teach myself, okay? That was something that I self-taught myself. But once I understood how a layout worked on like a magazine format and a flat format on the computer, because I'm still working on the computer, then I could see, oh, okay, this is how I want like my website to generally look, right? So that's where this all began. It all began from that process. But this strange update, I don't know about this update. It's very interesting. That's new for me. And if you don't know, today is Khmer, Cambodian New Year. So the first day of Cambodian New Year. And that's what we have here. Let's try a different color. Okay, let's just play around with colors. Peach, why would we want gray? Can we go solid? That's interesting. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to zoom in again. Sorry. So we're going to just test out colors. Look, this is very similar to how you'd kind of build up a website. So I would recommend doing this before you even like try. Just play around with it. Get comfortable playing around with a catalog layout, which is where this all came about, right? And get comfortable with finding a project to place onto. I mean, do you have projects? Are you still building up a vision? If you're still building up a vision for a project, I have plenty of ideas for projects. I can guide people through that as well. My channel actually does guide people through projects. If you have things that you want to kind of develop ideas for, I give you a general idea of how you can kind of do that too. Okay, so that's what this is, blue. Okay, so let's drag. No. Photos. Let's drag this there. Okay, that says that red dot basically means, let me show you over here. Oops. Okay, so the red dot, I'm busy talking about catalogs because before I did my website, I was actually playing around with catalogs. And the catalogs led me to what I have now today on my website. I haven't recently kind of done a lot to my website at the moment because I'm also playing around with how YouTube works. But I think if you feel comfortable playing around with catalogs, that generally leads you up to developing a larger format like a website. Wix is not hard to create. It's not a difficult site to kind of maneuver. And I haven't tried their AI stuff. Everything that I've done on my website was all hand done, starting with the catalog. This was the start to my website. Okay. So, but before the start to my website, I had many projects. I had a lot of projects that I'd already done. So that's many projects. This is what you're seeing now is the after effect of all the projects I've worked on over the years. Okay, this is just, I'm just sitting down more frequently. I was probably out and about more often back in the day because I was constantly on my feet doing things, either taking photographs of people, finding models for projects that I was trying to develop, all of that stuff. Asking friends on occasion. It was all over the place. But you gotta have a vision first, right? You gotta have a vision. With that, a general idea of a project. There is no reason to have a website. That's just my personal opinion on the website's angle. Is you can't just say, oh, I want a website. You must have a general idea of what you want to do. And if you have Facebook or TikTok or all those other things, you can use like your Facebook images and start a vision. And I know that Instagram, I guess, would be the new catalog, which I'm not an Instagrammer. I'm more YouTube, and I understood how to monetize on Facebook, which I've stopped. I just don't use Facebook anymore. It's like it took too much energy to do, and I didn't have enough time to create, like, make stuff. I stopped making stuff the moment I was working on Facebook. I literally just stopped producing things, and I took that back. I'm no longer on Facebook, so now I'm able to do things and be creative and constructive again. And I sell on Poshmark. Poshmark's looking great. I'm very happy with how their layout has been, right? Let me show you. I am really liking what Poshmark has done. I am rather impressed. And Poshmark is great, okay? And I'm finding a lot of people are liking the handmade things. In fact, if you do handmade stuff, I find that there's like a real potential of growing on Poshmark, for instance, just like Etsy does. But, you know, Etsy charges you to upload stuff daily, right? Let's do knit. Okay. Upload stuff daily. And a self-portrait, so you can use yourself for, you know, this is like things that I've made. And this is like the new catalog, right? You can now create a catalog. This Poshmark looks so good. I'm so happy with how they've really, it just looks so good. It really looks like a catalog. It looks like you're walking into a catalog with Poshmark. I'm very impressed. I really like how they've kind of constructed this. It's very, very, very interesting. And if you're creating like your own designs, it pops. It's seriously, like, Poshmark has made it so much better for handmade creative people to sell stuff because it's easier to understand and see how different and unusual the pieces are. Obviously self-portrait. So I think, you know, just have a vision. Don't, you know, I have many, many years on me for doing these kind of things. I have been working, developing and building up my whole portfolio for all these years, that this is like, it's, you know, and like backgrounds, like I take photographs, I do photography. So I understand, you know, how to take a photograph and what looks good and all these things and how to make sure that you have the lighting right. And I'm selling pretty well, not great, but I'm selling okay on Poshmark because the presentation, if you're going to take photographs and sell on a place like Poshmark, you know, you have to have a reasonable backdrop. Like, come up with a good backdrop, you know, like visualize how you're going to, like, it's all about the photography in the end. The photography is going to help you sell products. That's basically what it is. The same thing for a catalog. If the catalog looks good and the photographs look great, most likely that website of yours is going to look amazing. But you need to have a project. You can't start with nothing. You have to have something, right? So I'm just talking about catalog layouts today, and how happy I am to see how Poshmark has really stepped up how it looks, right? Visually, it just looks very nice, right? It does look like a catalog in itself. It's just beautiful. It's just so well thought through, really. I'm sort of impressed with how they figured they got this right. I wonder how long it took them to rework this, because it's definitely a work in progress. Okay, so that's my little chit chat for today, but I feel as if instead of people just guessing, oh, she probably had thousands of people working on her website. Actually, no. I started off because I studied I did photography. I did model photography for people. Okay, I did photography in college and university, self-portraits and stuff. So it's not a coinky-dink. No coinky-dinks. No coincidences here. It is all... I even was going to start a modeling agency at one point, but I was like, nah, too much work. I'm not going to go there. I thought through it. Then I was like, it's going to get complicated. That was the next step. So I didn't follow through with that. I just kind of left everything up to its own devices, right? And projects. Okay. There we go. Thank you guys for popping over. I appreciate everybody who came in to listen to my little spiel about how to create a catalog before you start a website, because the website then becomes the final destination to the visuals. Okay. Let me stand over here. I don't have any music going today. But thank you again, as I would say. I'm going to stand up. My leg's a little not so great. But thank you again. This is just, you can see I've gotten a little bit on over here because of my broken leg. It's just, I can't move as fast as I used to. So that's basically it. Okay, so thank you again. Have a great day. And hope to see you guys on the next one. If you have questions, if you have questions, you can go directly onto my Wix, and I can answer direct messages on there because I did build the site so I can see who comes in. And then if you have any particular questions, I can answer them right on my Wix site. Okay, thank you again. Have a good one.